Slimehouse TV, myself, Theo Kane, hold tight the Slime Alliance, the Slime Renegades, and everybody else that's locked in. We just got back from the big end-of-year NEC Toy Fair event. We found some incredible pieces, I picked up some awesome new additions for my collection, and I can't wait to show you how we got on. Let's do this! Now, if you watched the last NEC video that I put up a couple of months ago, then you know the score with these events. Because they take place in the middle of England in Birmingham, people from the north and the south all go to it because it's like the same kind of time to get there. Usually all the toy collectors that can make it all make the effort to go because it's the biggest and best event in the country. Now, because this is an event that's so close to Christmas, it took place on the day after Boxing Day. Part of you always thinks, I don't know if it's going to be that busy, but when I get there, it's always heaving, and I was so excited for this event. More excited than I was for Christmas. So me and Bentlegs, we got up at 6 AM, we jumped in the car, I cracked open a Monster, and we headed down the motorway to Birmingham for that early bird 8 AM entry. Now, when it comes to toy fairs, they're all generally the same. You can pay a little bit more money and get in early, pay that early bird entry, so you can go in at 8 AM while everybody else is setting up. And I always like to do this because I want first pickings on that good stuff. And boy, was the good stuff out in full force at this event. Now, one of the first stalls that we rolled up to where I saw some real high-end pieces was the stall of Robo Toys. Now, this is a guy that always brings that fly shit. He's the guy that brought that Rocklord's Fossil Rock to the last event. He's always got such fire on his stall, and this month was no exception. Was this also one's big collection that you bought? Yeah. Weren't another spoilt kid with it all in his loft?
No, it was just a guy who started collecting turtles and was like streamlining, so...
It seems like he were.
Yeah.
I'm going for it.
So, I mean, the guy had some money though.
I'm happy I get to film them now before your stall gets swarmed later.
Well, hopefully.
So Robbo had just bought a huge haul of Playmates Ninja Turtles, all immaculate, all carded, and not only did he have a bunch of classics in there, but he also had some nice obscure ones that you don't see that often. He had so many of the different variants of the Ninja Turtles. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, Playmates started putting out so many different themed turtles, and if you could think of a theme, chances are they created a turtle of it. Oh, look at that. Cultural appropriation, Leo.
Yeah, yeah. And you got the old Basham ones.
Oh, beautiful. I love the Wild West ones. Native American, the Davy Crockett, the Cavalier. Cowboy. You know I love my Wild West shit. I couldn't believe how many that he'd brought with him. He just turned up with them out of nowhere. He'd just bought someone's whole collection and he just sold 3 grand's worth. So I dread to think what he had in that haul that he'd not brought with him. So although I don't collect carded Ninja Turtles, it was still awesome to see and it put me in a real good mood. I was on even more of a high after seeing them than I was when I turned up. So I'm just bopping round at this point. Like I said, we've paid early bird entry, so all the stall holders are still setting up. Anything could just get put out on the stall at this point, so my eyes are going crazy. I'm bopping round like the Terminator looking for that thing that I'm trying to hunt down. Look at that. So I got one unboxed, but never seen one in the box before. Beautiful. I love that like steel font. It's like that Mad Max shit, innit? Robocop style font. Yeah. A little bit more knockoff. Yeah, for sure. They got this guy in the back that they never made a figure of, but how dope is that? Nice talking anyway, bro. Have a good day.
Have a good day, mate.
These Hero Gladiators are like so dope to see because they were real cheap discount store toys, so they were very cheap to buy. They're the kind of thing that someone would bring you to your birthday party that wasn't like that much of a friend, but you invited them anyway just because you invited everyone from your class, and it's the kind of thing that their mom would buy you. Dope toys, but no one ever like played the game or knew how to play it, but it's so cool to see them. Look at that, it's like a Doctor Who doll's house. What's the deal with it? It's like someone made it out of a doll's house, or
no, it's custom built.
The whole thing is custom built.
So I've got a shop in Wolverhampton, and there's a military shop up above me.
Yeah.
There used to be a carpenter. He
oh,
built it.
Perfect.
So,
where is your shop?
Wolverhampton.
What's it called?
Unit 3 collectible toys.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you for showing me.
No worries.
Them Final Faction are awesome to see. They're like a big thing in a dollar store in America. I get my friend to send me some before. They're like a cheap dollar store toy, but like well made, well sculpted, and the nicest like rack toy that you can get these days. It was cool to see that Nerdbase had a stall there. I'd never met the guy that owns Nerdbase. If you remember, earlier on in the year, myself, Dino Riders UK and Pizarro's Pieces all went and hit up Nerdbase. I got some real nice pieces. A few weeks later, I also bought the plasma rifle Nerf gun from Nerdbase. And then only recently, my friend Rise Toys and Stuff picked me up a rare Mr. T outfit that I needed for my old Mr. T figure. So I've always got a lot of love for Nerdbase, and it was cool to see that he'd brought a stall and he'd also brought some fire pieces as well. Oh, are you Dave Blade?
Yes.
Oh, nice one, bro. Nice to meet you in person, mate.
And you, mate.
Another real awesome thing is that I got to meet Dave Blade. So Dave Blade is a dude that supports this toy scene so much. He's like one of the biggest supporters of the UK toy community. Now, recently, a chain of stores out here in the UK called B&M Bargains have been randomly stocking reproduction Ninja Turtles Playmates party wagons. They're absolutely incredible, and they're made like pretty much exactly the same as the old ones. And they've been selling them for just £20. So all the different toy groups that I'm a part of on Facebook have all been going crazy trying to track these down because they only sold them in very select stores. It's like 1 in 10 stores actually had them, and Dave managed to find a load in a store and he bought them all, and rather than try and make a buck on them or make a drink on them or try and upsell them or anything like that, he basically offered them out to all the toy collectors that he knows in the community that couldn't get one. He also brought one with him to the NEC so that if anybody needed one, they could buy it off him. And like I said, not trying to make a buck on it, not trying to make a drink on it or anything like that, selling it for £20 to anybody that needed one. And luckily, my friend Nima Studios did need one, so we ended up selling it to him. Just another reason why Dave Blade is an absolute legend and such an awesome supporter of this toy community. But nice to meet you in person.
Yes,
I know Nima's after one of them. I'll send him down later if he's got time.
Right,
Nice one, dude.
Take care, mate.
Take care, bro. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
David Will Toys was also there. Now, this is a guy that's just been out in America for like 8 weeks on a big toy hunting mission, going to a different toy shop and hunting toys every single day. So it was really interesting to see what he'd brought back with him.
I'll speak to you a bit.
You're back with us on British soil.
Yeah.
How long was you away for?
3 months. That's for you.
Oh, thank you, dude. Oh, little snarf, little pencil holder.
It's the original one, so.
Oh, nice one, brother. I appreciate that. He'd also brought me a little gift, a little snarf pencil holder, which was very cool of him. He didn't have to do that, so big ups to Dave for that. Yeah, you was away for so long. Like, most people go to America for like a week. Like, you might as well have got citizenship. But you're only a week off having to apply for it.
No, it's actually literally a week.
Nice one. Cheers for that, though, pal. You have a good day. That guy, David Will Toys, like, just went to America for like a month and a half, every day uploading in a different toy shop. Went on like an absolute like American adventure for real. I love that Eagle's Adventure set with the giant Venus flytraps in it. That's dope. Robocop cryo chamber. I've still not seen note yet that's blowing my skirt up that I'm like, I need that. I've got to have it. There's a couple of bits that's interesting, but nothing that I'm like, I need it. Like a time in like the late 90s where like, because Pogs was everywhere, everything came with Pogs. Even knockoff Power Rangers came with Pogs. Is it Denny's Fisher Dalek, that one?
Palitoy one.
Or is it the Palitoy one? What you got on it?
What's that? 70.
Oh. Is it its arm broken or?
It's all, it came as it was.
Right.
This morning it must have come off.
Yeah, it looks like it's been glued, yeah.
It was glued before then.
Ah. Yeah, nice one, bro. Wow, stretch serpent. You don't see one of them very often. There was also somebody selling a stretch serpent, which is like the rarest of all the stretch toys, debatably. And this guy wanted $4,000 for it with a reproduction head. So it just kind of gives you an idea of how rare this toy is. Way out of my budget, but definitely cool to see. $4,000, that stretch serpent. And it's a I think an original body with a repro head, or the other way around, but it just shows how much that's worth, that even with repro parts it's still $4,000. Crazy. He was also selling a bunch of real nice, very well made reproduction boxes. Now, we didn't have any for the toys that I wanted. I would love a Bullet Man one, an Atomic Man, maybe a Tom Stone, but all the ones that he brought were like Dennis Fisher Doctor Who and some Mego figures and $6 Million Man, and all my figures that I've got like that are either already in boxes or I don't want a box for them. But it's nice to know that in future, if there's any toys that I want a nice reproduction box for, chances are that guy can probably get me one. So by this point, we've done the first loop. Like when you first get there, you do that first loop where you have like a quick browse. You don't really spend too long looking at each stall because you don't want to miss anything while everybody's setting up. But by this point, everybody has set up the stall. So when it comes around to the second loop, you can really start to see what's actually on offer. Two dudes that I always like to see at the NEC, they're always there and they always stand together, are Holy Grail Toys and Big Kid Collectibles, and these always bring absolute fire. Alex Bentlegs from Holy Grail Toys had brought this real nice old Japanese fold-out Ninja Turtles playset.
It's to promote, you know, like the Transforming Turtles they did?
Yeah.
It was to promote them, but then my other mate said it was fan club only, Japanese set.
Whoa.
That's a pop-up book.
Look at the Technodrome.
Recreate all the
yeah, that's
scenes from
very Japanese, that. Very Japanese.
Sue's lair.
Now, apparently, Alex has posted this around a bunch of different social media toy groups and Ninja Turtles pages, and nobody can quite agree on where it actually came from. Some people think that it was a promotional item. Some people think that it was actually sold on shop shelves for kids to play with. Nobody can quite agree on its origin, but we can all agree that it's fucking fire.
It's all the, like the vehicles, transforming vehicle ones,
yeah.
ones. No one really knows what it properly is. Like, is it a fan club exclusive to Japan?
Have you Google lensed any at writing? And because it's all covered in Japanese text, I used a bit of Google Lens to try and translate some of the writing, and it did translate it, but it still didn't let us know where it came from. So the mystery continues. If you do know, let me know in the comments below, because I know that Alex would appreciate it. And also, I like to know this shit. I want to know where this shit came from. I like to know everything I can about toys, as much as I can as possible. So yeah, if you do know, let me know in the comments below.
What's that one, the 1966 Godzilla?
Yeah.
Really early?
Yeah. Before it went like the more cartoony eyes. This is like when he's fighting Rodan and Mothra before they start teaming up.
Tiny little head.
So there is a dude in there. You'd have to pull him out to actually get in there, but there is something going on inside.
Now you're just fingering Godzilla's head.
Now I'm just, yeah, it's pieing Godzilla. If you don't mind, I thought it was something like a Gunpla kit.
Oh no, this is like an SH monster art.
Really?
Thing, yeah.
Is it die cast? I thought the box felt heavy when I picked it up.
Have a wield of that.
Oh, it is.
Unbelievable.
It takes someone out.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is really nice. And all these chest opens and things.
Yeah, never been put together, that one.
But 2003 Mechagodzilla. Is that when it's from, like that kind of time?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, bang on, 2003.
I quite like the design.
Still got it. Yeah, love it. What? Let me look at this. That's incredible. I've got do you know, like you got your Sectors there, like a Sectors knockoff one I got years ago from Carboot. Is it that same brand?
No.
But it's got a folding box cover on it like that.
Towards the end of the Sectors line, we've seen some prototypes of stuff they were going to release.
Yeah.
And it looks like these type of Centaur things, and I think these were knockoffs of what was going to come.
Really? Oh, that's mint, that. It's one of them, it's like, I don't know what to price it as, like.
You've never seen
it's such a weird one. No. Not in this country especially.
No.
Beautiful.
I've never seen a box one.
What's that thing you just took out of it? Is that?
Well, he comes apart, so you can have him as a horse or you can have him as a robot.
Oh, right. So is that just out of the box?
He's motorised.
Yeah, mechanical.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't fit that back in, so I didn't bother trying to wedge it in.
You had to have it out and have a little look and a play.
Always.
He's one of the hardest ones to get, Sergeant Scoop. I've got them all loose and like pretty much complete, but I still don't have a Sergeant Scoop loose. My heli bomber. it's gold. But I didn't know if it's gold just because over the years it's turned gold, or if there was some that sort. See on that box there, it's silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mine's like a gold colour. Oh, scumbag with his pipes as well.
Scumbag, yeah.
30 quid with them pipes.
So
absolute bargain, brother.
I understand he's not complete because I don't care.
No, he ain't got his little bugs.
That is complete enough for me.
Yeah, for sure. Just having him with those pipes is worth it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
people be paying tenner a pipe.
Again,
Not me, but people.
exactly.
Yeah, you're doing that.
You could probably get 15 quid without the pipes, and then I got to find them.
Yeah. No, with pipes is nice.
Now, obviously, it was only a couple of months ago that we came to the last NEC toy event, and when I came to that last one, there was a couple of rare Action Man pieces that I were looking to complete my Space Rangers line. Since then, I've actually picked up most of the pieces that I need, which is awesome, but there was still a couple of bits that I'm after. I'm still after a hose for my Space Commando, and I was hoping that I might find one because, as always, there's lots of Action Man on offer at this place, but unfortunately, I didn't find one again this time.
I somehow don't think that he'll have a hose for a Space Commando in here. Eddie Murphy Raw Action Man.
So even though I didn't find one of those hoses that I needed, the list of things that I was looking for was still very long, and it's always very long. There's always lots of lines that I'm focusing on, lots of little pieces that I'm trying to get hold of to complete lines so that I can do videos on them, and it wasn't until like the second loop round that I actually saw something that really stood out to me.
Look at this scale tail, a right nice Playmates piece that is one of like the rarer, most sought after figures, especially with all these little accessories. If you know me, you know that I love accessories, especially with my Playmates figures, even though each one comes with like so many that they're hard to complete, but that in that like protective case, it's real nice.
So as nice as the scale tail was, like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to my Playmates figures, I primarily collect them loose with all their weapons, but I like them loose. I don't want them carded, so that didn't come home with me. But then I spotted something else on his stall that definitely had the potential to get swiped up.
Jeez, man. I'd never even seen one complete with all these pieces. I don't even want to ask what you got on it.
150 on him.
150. That's, do you know, it's not a bad price to have all these pieces. To say that some people be paying like 25, 30 quid a piece. How many does it come with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jeez, awesome. And the seat as well.
Now these were on the stall of a guy called Chris from Baker Street Toys. This is a dude that owns his own toy store, and every time he comes to the NEC he brings real high-end interesting pieces, and as always he didn't disappoint. He's also a big supporter of what I do here on Slimehouse. He always shares my videos on his page and stuff like that, and although that might seem like a small thing, to me that's a real big deal. So I always like to try and repay the favour to people that support me if I can. Like if he looks after me, I like to be able to look after him. That makes me feel good to be able to do that.
That is nice. What's your best price to me? 125. Definitely considering that with all these pieces as well.
So we had this Playmates Killer Bee, a figure that I really do like. When I saw it there in person, I was instantly drawn to it. Obviously, I've told you I'm a big Playmates collector. I love Playmates figures that are loose with all their accessories. This is a figure that comes with a ton of accessories, and he's got it there loose with all of its pieces. So originally he wanted 150 quid for this thing, but he said if it was to me, he would sort it out for 125. So at this point, I'm like, oh, do I pull the trigger? Do I bring this thing home with me? I really do want it. He's only just put it out on his stall, and I can guarantee that if I do a loop and come back, somebody will have bought it. So I've really got to like think right now on the spot, do I want to bring this thing home for 125? Now, when it comes to spending a bit more money on toys, my theory is always how big is that thing? How much bang am I getting for my buck? So not only is this a figure that's much bigger than most of the other toys in the Playmates line, but it also comes with 8 accessories. And in the last few years, those accessories have been going up and up in price. So I could try and find a loose one, but then I would spend years hunting down all the different accessories for it, trying to pay the right price. And some of these accessories start from like 10, 15, 20 pounds starting fee just for one piece. And this guy comes with 8 of them. So I'm thinking, do you know what? This is a pretty fucking awesome deal right here.
Let's do it. 125. I'll take that, bro. Let's do it.
So I thought, do you know what? It's Christmas. I've got a bit of spending money. It's my birthday in a week. I'm going to fucking buy this Killer Bee. So I thought, fuck it, 125. I shook dude's hand and we agreed that I was going to take that home with me today.
Bun it. Let's do it. Buy something special. So I was real happy with the purchase, and considering I didn't buy anything at the last NEC, I kind of made up for the 2 events that I'd been to where I'd not picked up anything, and since I've got it home, I've fully fell in love with this figure. Like, I'm absolutely buzzing with it, for lack of a better word. I love the Dayglow colour scheme of him. I love the fact that he's like this gnarly escaped convict killer bee with a chainsaw and a gun and money strapped to his leg and a broken handcuff on his arm. He's got so many different pieces and accessories, and I can't wait to do like a much better in-depth review of this thing in a few weeks when I do like all my top toys that I picked up in 2022. I'm not going to go too much into it today, but just know that I fucking love this toy and I'm so happy that I bought it.
Yeah, it was one of them that, like, I don't know like what they go for at the minute, but I know that the accessories go for 20 quid a pop, and it's like 7 accessories with it, do you know what I mean? So it's like 125 is a nice deal. I'm happy with that. That's my little treat to myself out of my Christmas money. And it's my birthday in like a week as well, so it can be Christmas and birthday to myself.
Now, when I'm at an event like this or a show like this, what often happens for me personally anyway is I hold on to my money tightly until I've made that first purchase, and then it's like I kind of get a taste for it and the floodgates open.
What it kind of does as well at the toy fair, when you buy one thing, especially spend a bit of money on it, it like opens the floodgates, so then you feel like buying more then. That first purchase is always the one that you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to get for my first purchase, but then like when you open them floodgates and you make that first purchase, then after that, it's like all bets are off.
I then found another Playmates figure that I needed, a Mondo Gecko complete with his skateboard and his chest piece unrubbed. Like, this is a figure that I thought I had up until recently, but then realised that I didn't. I think it was just in my head. So that was really cool to get that and add it to my collection. It was also only £20, and I've got like a new rule now that when it comes to a figure from the 80s or the early 90s, if it's £20 and it's complete, then it's a no-brainer. You have to pick it up. So obviously that came home with me as well.
I need me a Mondo Gecko. He's got his sticker on his chest.
Just around the corner from that, I then saw another figure that took my fancy, an old Kenner Swamp Thing figure still on the card, and I love this line. It's not one that I've ever really delved into, but it's one that I've always kind of considered starting, and this one in particular I always liked because I liked the sculpt of his legs, so when I saw that on the card complete for 20 quid, that was also a no-brainer.
20. There you go, dude. Thank you. Nice one. Just got a nice Kenner Swamp Thing. This is a line that I don't have really any of the figures, but I always like them, and I always particularly like this one because of like the vines on his legs, how they're almost like they're stuck into the floor. So that might be the start of a new collection, who knows, but for 20 quid on the card, awesome figure, you can't go wrong.
I also saw a couple of other Playmates figures that I'd really like to add to my collection. Both real high-end pieces, so we're both a little bit too rich for my blood, but very nice to see them in person. The Giraffe half coat from Ninja Turtles, and then I also got to hold a Hotspot. Not complete, but so nice to see it up close and personal. The first time I've ever held one in my hand and seen it that close.
One for the bronies. That one, a Toyo come with a VHS tape. That's awesome. I wonder how many people bought them because of Sopranos. Take me to the river. I love how these are all presented. Monster in my pocket's all sorted by colour. Some muscle figures. Yeah. It's such a big chunk of plastic for the guy on it.
But it weighs nothing.
Is it not? Is it like blow moulded? Yeah.
Something else that I missed on the first time round, but it was there because I saw it when I looked at the footage back while I were editing it, was something on Dave Bladestall, which is obviously why I missed it because I was talking to him, but it's one of the things I need from the Bravestarr line.
What you got on him?
I'll do a tenner on him.
So Colonel Borrowbot is this transforming robot dude that turns into a bike. He's a figure that's very brittle and can get broke very easily, and he didn't have his accessories, but he did have all these other parts. He was fully working and transformable, and he's one that I needed for my own set, so I said, how much do you want for it? And Dave only wanted a tenner. Absolute G. So just before leaving, I went to pick up my Killer Bee from Chris at Baker Street Toys, and I also noticed on his stall that he had the knife for Bonehead from the Toxic Crusaders Playmates line. It's like one of the last little pieces that I need to complete the figures. I asked how much he want for it, and he gave it me and said Merry Christmas. So just another reason why that guy is also an absolute legend. Such a supporter. It was nice to be able to give him some money back and buy something from his stall and repay the favour. Made me feel good, and I came home with an awesome Killer Bee and the blade that I needed for my Bonehead figure. I'm gassed. What an awesome day at the NEC we had. So that was how we got on at the NEC in Birmingham, the last NEC event of the year. What do you think of the purchases that I picked up? Do you think I paid a nice price? Did you see anything else in any of the shots that you wouldn't have been able to leave without coming home with? Let me know in the comments below. As you can probably tell, we had an awesome day. It was wicked to run into a bunch of people that I know, meet some new faces, just catch up with everyone, and I'm already excited for the next event. Also, if this is your first time checking out the channel, then please introduce yourself down below. Let me know who you are, where you come from, what you collect, what's your poison, what's your plastic crack addiction. We do lots of toy videos on here, toy discussions, toy hunting, toy documentaries, all that good shit. So if that sounds like a bit of you, then you're going to fit in very well here at Slimehouse TV. If you want to hit me up but you don't want to do it publicly, the best place to do that is over on Instagram at Theo_Kane_Slimehouse. And if you want to help support this channel, help me keep making videos every single week, then the best place to do that is over on Patreon at patreon.com/SlimehouseTV. There's a couple of different options of tiers that you can join on there, the Slime Renegades and the Slime Alliance, including the tier that allows you to get videos like this and others 2 weeks in advance and some other exclusive stuff as well. So if that sounds like a bit of you, then head over to Patreon and become one of the Slime Alliance members. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video today. I'm off to another toy fair tomorrow out in Doncaster. Can't wait to see what we find there. Obviously, I'm going to be filming it all for you. Don't know how big that video is going to be compared to this one, but don't know I'm going to be filming it all and putting a video together anyway. So I'm going to go get some sleep because I've got to be up early, 6 AM again on a train over to Doncaster for that toy fair. We love this shit. In the meantime, I'm Theo Kane. This is Slimehouse TV, and I will catch you in the next video. Until then, I'm gone. Pow!